Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, set in the Ardennes region of Belgium, is known as one of the most challenging racetracks in the world, mainly due to the fact it's fast, hilly, twisty, and weather is always so unpredictable. It was first designed in 1920 as a 15-kilometre racetrack, which runs through the Belgian towns of Spa, Malmedy and Stavelot. Those corner names exist today in the 4.352 mile 20 corner racetrack. Well, the track record is held by Sebastian Vettel, set in 2009 with a time of 1 minute 47.263. Of course, the racetrack holds Formula 1 events, but also GT racing as well, and the track is so diverse. There's so many stories that you can always think about, and it really is a true driver's track. I'm going to take you through the racetrack now. Exiting the bus stop, you see this is the main start or finish line. You'll see it's very narrow here as you brake from one of the slowest corners in all of Formula 1. Turn number 1, La Source. You approach it at about 180 miles an hour in Formula 1 cars, slower in GT cars, but only 30 miles an hour on the Apex. You've got to get a good run out of here, however, for the endurance start finish rate that you're coming through now, but then Air Rouge, that left-hand flick, perhaps the most famous corner in all of road racing. Then you flick it to the right as you enter now Radio, the left-hand kink as well. You've got to get yourself a good run through here. Don't use too much of the curbs because that car will want to spear off the racetrack into those tyre barriers. Then you're onto the Kemmel straightaway, which does have that little kink before it straightens itself out as you set yourself up now for that run down to Lacombe. You'll hit your fastest part of the racetrack before you brake. You brake as late as you possibly can. You'll see the rumble strips on the left hand side, and then you book that car to the right hand side for the first part of the Lacombe. Then to the left, use quite a lot of curb here as you settle the car down for that final right hander to come out of the Lacombe complex. Get yourself a good run out of here as you now go downhill into turns 8 and 9 Rivage. You want to brake later than you actually think you can. Lots of grip as you're on your way here. Hold the inside line as you come out, and then you do that left hand flick. And this is where the track really starts to get fast now. You're approaching the Furon section of the racetrack. A double apex left-hander, which really does test the driver's mental and physical stamina. So many G's coming through the first part of this corner. You'll shift down a couple of gears, but then you'll be flat out all the way through turn number 11, the second part of Furon. A lot of escape road on the outside of the racetrack, which normally is forbidden by race control as you now come down into the Fungus chicane. Turns number 12 and 13. The first part is all about setting yourself up for the second part of the corner, where again you've got to get yourself a good exit as you work yourself down into Stavelot. Another double apex right-hander. The first part, get yourself a good run on the curbs, and then try and use as much of the throttle as you can as you run it all the way over the curbs on the exit of turn number 15. Now you're working yourself down the back straight away. You've got yourselves a couple of kinks here as you're working yourself down into Blanchimont. This is where Luciano Berti had his accident in 2001, which put paid to his Formula 1 career. A huge crash he had there. You're going to be flat out in some cars, just dabbing off the throttle a little bit in others as you come down now to the bus stop chicane, the second slowest corner on the racetrack. You've got to get good momentum here. Passing is possible, but you're really going to have to set that car up all the way down the back straight to get the job done. Come out, it's very slippy on the way out. You'll see a lot of drivers getting loose on the power, work it down the start finish line, and that is a lap of one of the toughest racetracks in the world, Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps.